Hi.
Hello. Assalamu
Welcome. Walaikum assalam. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Can you just tell the people at home your name and where you're from?
My name is Sarah Elshanshory and originally from Egypt, but born and raised first generation Egyptian American.
Okay. So, do you remember how we met? I know it was a long time ago. You were a teenager.
Yes, I was a teenager. It was a long time ago, but we met through the masjid
Yeah,
and families knew each other and we kind of just bonded pretty quickly. So similar hearts, similar minds.
very much so. I remember coming to your house with all
Yes.
your family, like before you got married and everything, and talking to your mom. And yeah, your family is so sweet and warm. And I just wanted to say, I just love all of you.
Oh, thank you. Likewise. We love your family. When my parents found out that I was doing this interview with you today, they're like, "Oh my God, Halimah, like tell her we said hello." So,
That's
and they
so
and they
sweet.
want to say hello to your whole family as well.
I will do that off camera. Okay, so basically, the world is going through a global pandemic, and a lot of people are dealing with it in different ways. And I just wanted to know, like, what were you doing before this hit, like, as far as work?
Well, I work for a local nonprofit called Catholic Charities Fort Worth, and it's an organization that's mission is to end poverty in the community one family at a time. And I specifically work in our refugee services department as a career navigator, helping our clients find gainful employment opportunities. And before all of this pandemic, I would say my life was very fast paced. And being a single mom of twin girls, working, coming home from school, from work, and they're needing help with schoolwork, and just everything was very, very fast paced before the pandemic.
Okay. And were you working outside the home at that time, or?
Yes, I was. I was going into the office. It's about a 35-minute commute one way, so spent an hour driving to and from work.
And now you work remotely from home? Is that
Right.
okay? So how has that transition been for you?
I will say in the beginning, it was a bit of a struggle because I am the type of person that I like my routine. I like to go in, do the same thing, go into the office, know where I'm sitting, know what I'm doing for the day. And I like tasks being delegated to me. But I found that during this quarantine time and working remotely, a lot of it is on you and you have to create your own schedule. You have to delegate on your own to yourself pretty much, or you have to have that time management skill, which I found that I probably didn't have it so well before, but now I'm kind of slowly getting comfortable with it.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
So what do you feel like, as far as being at home, working and everything? How do you feel like emotionally? Has it been stressful, anxiety? How is that?
Um, there were definitely moments where I felt a lot of anxiety, especially in the very beginning, because for me, I'm an extrovert and I love being around people. I love going to work and talking to my friends, my coworkers, my from the volunteer at the front door greeting the clients to the police officer that's guarding our building. I mean, I just love being around people. And I found it very scary when I would go to the grocery store for like essential items and everyone's wearing a mask and gloves and like you walk next to someone and they literally go like way more than 6 feet around you.
Yeah.
And for a moment that I went into panic mode because I was just like, this is not normal. It's not natural. It's not what I'm comfortable with. So I definitely felt that anxiety in the beginning. It's kind of slowly calming down as I'm trying to come to terms with this is not going to be forever. This is
Mhm.
a temporary thing, and there is an end to this eventually. Hopefully
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed. But yeah,
And when we were talking before the show, you were telling me that there were some other health issues that you had concerns about. Would you like to talk about that?
absolutely. So I rarely disclose this to people, but I do feel like at a time like this, when people are going through like a depressive mood or anxiety or anything like that, because of either a loss of employment, loss of wages, family getting sick, or even worse, family members dying. I think it's important to disclose that, when my girls were first born, they were born in November 20th, 2008. And right after they were born, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. And for the longest time, it's been 11 years now that I have seen a psychiatrist and I see a psychologist. I take medication for it, and all of that. But for the longest time, it's been something like it's a secret, something that I wasn't ashamed of it, but I felt like other people, if they knew about it, there would be that stigma surrounding it. And in a way, by me keeping it to myself, I'm adding to that stigma,
Yeah.
And so I definitely feel like having bipolar disorder during a time like this, it could be very scary. It can be very scary because if you don't have the sense of like family or support surrounding you from health professionals and from like friends or families or people that you can talk to, it could be a very dark time.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that, and I'm very honored that you would share that with me. I didn't know that, so thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity to disclose that.
I think it's very brave of you, and um, it's not just it's people in general, but also culturally within our religion, within the way we were raised, that a lot of people don't ever want to talk about mental health issues.
Mhm.
So I think it's very important that we do find a dialogue where people can express themselves and be open with who they are and what they're dealing with, because there is no shame. And
Absolutely.
like you were saying, if someone has cancer or diabetes, you tell people that and people don't judge them.
Right.
But if you have depression or anxiety, then you feel like people might.
Absolutely. I'm so sorry. I really feel like what you're doing, Halimah, is amazing and incredible and so honorable, because it's really hard to go through life feeling like you have something that you have to keep a secret to yourself, because God created us all. We're not created the same way, but God created us all with the same heart and the same, intention, which is to live life in a happy and fulfilling way. And it's hard to live in a fulfilling and happy way when you feel like you're keeping such a secret.
All right. Well, we're going to take a break
Okay.
and we'll talk more about this. We'll be right
Okay.
back.
Thank you.
Thanks.